welcome to another edition of Expat Living. Well, in previous shows, we have met with different expats and listened to their various stories about living and working in Vietnam. But in this show, I have other guests for you. They are foreign volunteers. With so many foreign volunteers coming to Vietnam, they all have very interesting experiences to share. But before getting into the detail, please join us in a trip to Volunteers for Peace Vietnam, a non-governmental organization that helps bring volunteers from all over the world to Vietnam. Volunteers for Peace Vietnam, VPV, is a Vietnamese non-governmental organization. Founded in 2005, VPV has been the bridge, bringing over 2,000 foreign volunteers from 40 countries and territories around the world to Vietnam. With young, enthusiastic people, many voluntary missions have been accomplished, greatly contributing to many aspects of society and community.
We have three major activities. The first part is education support, when volunteers come to help children in different schools, from primary level to vocational level. The second part is what we call social welfare, when volunteer comes to help with children with disabilities in a center for handicapped children or shelters that for victims of Agent Orange. And the last part is about local NGO support. So volunteer come and work with local organization who are running different projects in community development, environment protection, and so on.
So this is the first destination for our show for today. This is an apartment block. Yes, it is, and it's not much different from any other apartment block in town. But why am I taking you here? Am I taking you to the wrong place? No, definitely not. This is the place because inside this apartment building, our volunteers are devoting their time and efforts for their voluntary mission. Let's go in and see what's really happening. An A apartment block in Meeting Urban area. This is where one of many volunteer activities involving foreign students take place. A day for Linda and Eileen, two Irish volunteers, start like this.
So that they can remember the words, and we can write up the words, and they can draw pictures. We get them to walk around the kitchen.
For a month, Linda and Eileen have been in charge of the English class for children living in this apartment block. All the children are welcome, and study is free of charge. And soon, the learners arrive.
When I heard there was a space available here, I said, right, I'm going. So, I'm training to be a teacher back home in Ireland. So I wanted somewhere like I could get experience in another country, in another culture, with different children. So it's been a really good experience here. I've learned a lot, and just teaching English as well to the kids here are just so enthusiastic about it. We don't get that at home, so it's really nice to see.
The class usually starts with some English songs, which, according to the teachers, will help the pupils get into the mood for study. This is how they draw pupils to the class every day, even during summertime. This method is quite different from what the Vietnamese pupils are enjoying.
And listening. Kitchen. Can everybody show me? Point to the kitchen with your finger. I was very impressed with the level of English that the children have. They're well able to communicate, to talk back to us, especially the older children. The teachers are obviously doing a great job, with the children. But we've just been working on pronunciation, things like that. And I think we have a different style of teaching as well, so the children are, they enjoy our style of teaching as well because it's different for them. We like to get them standing up, get them active and moving around, playing games, and it's different from what they're normally used to. So I think they're enjoying it as much as we are.
Glass. Very good. This one. Cup. Very good.
Despite the differences in culture background and language barrier, these volunteer teachers try their best to improve the skills of English of the pupils. All little pupils are assisted whenever they need help, and they all like it.
Cháu học ở trường cháu rất là thích ạ. Học và cô giáo dạy được bao nhiêu tiếng Anh bổ ích ạ. Cháu không cần cô tiếng Việt nhắc ạ. Cháu học vài tiếng Anh từ cô ấy thì cháu hiểu ạ. Ở đây là các cô dạy bài học là dễ hiểu, xong rồi là học hay, học tốt. Với lại là các cô dạy học là cháu rất thích. Mùa hè mùa nghỉ thì trẻ con thì ai cũng thích chơi ở nhà, có người thích đi học. Nhưng mà học đây cháu thấy vui hơn là nhà. Sau khi học ở đây nhiều thời gian thì cháu đã quen với cô thì giao tiếp cháu thấy dễ hơn lúc mới đầu.
After just a month studying here, these children have got much better thanks to the efficient teaching method and great enthusiasm of the teachers. And the parents are all satisfied with the result.
Lúc trước thì cháu rất lười nói. Tức là khi mà mặc dù cháu xem tivi thì cháu vẫn hiểu được đấy, nhưng mà cháu không phát âm theo. Cái phản xạ, cái độ bật về tiếng Anh ấy cháu thì chị thấy cũng tốt hơn. Và thứ hai là cháu rất là thích sang đi học. Lúc nào cũng chỉ chờ xem đến giờ để đến.
Chắc là các cô phải rất nhiệt tình, phải rất là có tâm với cả các cháu thì mới đem đến được các cháu là cái việc học nó có một cái động lực. Cháu rất là muốn đi học.
Các cháu bạo hẳn lên và rất thích học. Thì ví dụ như 9 giờ học là 7 giờ đã phải ngủ dậy rồi. Dậy để nhanh trong cháu hỏi mẹ ơi bây giờ mấy giờ rồi để cho các cháu sang học. Đấy, thì em thì thấy các con rất là thích.
Not just learning, the volunteer teachers also organize different activities, bringing the children great fun. And that's really a big change to the kids who often have little chance to play during summer. So teaching English is just only part of the activities that foreign volunteers are doing in Vietnam. Some of them want to challenge themselves with more difficult job, like taking care of children with autism. That's another story. For Fiona, a volunteer from Australia, her daily routine includes a walk through dusty and busy roads to come to the Morning Star Center. This is where she spends most of her time during the volunteer mission in Vietnam. Amazingly, this Australian girl has no idea about Vietnam and came to the country because of curiosity and through the stories of her friends.
I came to Vietnam because a lot of my friends back home have been to Vietnam and I've never heard a bad thing about it. I know lots of people that have come here. Everyone has just said that the people are friendly, there's so much to do, it's just a beautiful place to be, and that's why I chose it.
In Australia, Fiona has been working with people with disabilities, and that makes her confident to apply for volunteer mission in this Morning Star Center or the Center for the Early Detection, Care and Parental Counseling for those with mental disabilities. Working here, Fiona believes she will receive real and useful experiences.
At home, I work with people with disabilities, but adults, so I wanted to see the difference. I've heard lots of good things about Vietnam, lots of people have been here before, and I've never heard a bad thing. So I just thought it was a good way to experience Vietnam in the real way, and to see the real people, and not to see the tourist side, to actually get the real experience and live as a Vietnamese instead of a tourist. and to get the experience of working with children with autism as well. I enjoy it. It's fun. It just makes me feel good as well, and it's nice to be able to help out.
The care for 240 autistic kids is currently the task of around 70 teachers at the center, and that is a huge task for the teachers. The support of volunteers are really appreciated.
Họ cũng giúp được chúng tôi rất là nhiều, như là các công việc hàng ngày ở trên lớp thì quản lý học sinh. Khi chúng tôi dạy học sinh thì những học sinh còn lại thì họ cũng quản lý được học sinh. Thứ hai nữa là trong cái việc chăm sóc vệ sinh giờ ăn giờ ngủ của trẻ thì họ cũng rất là quan tâm và họ cũng rất là nhiệt tình trong cái công việc của mình.
Mình thấy rất là tốt. Cảm ơn tất cả các bạn đã đến đây, sẽ đến đây để làm việc. Mình sẽ cố gắng để hợp tác với các bạn để làm cho cái công việc nó tốt hơn.
Họ rất nhiệt tình và họ có một cái sự học hỏi. Họ muốn sẵn sàng hết sức mình họ làm việc mà các cô phải hỗ trợ cho họ, giúp đỡ cho họ.
Fiona is not the only volunteer in the center. In another class, Christian from Austria is doing the same thing.
I'm not only working here, I work here in the morning, and after I'm finished, at lunchtime I work in another rehabilitation center, which is very different from this rehabilitation center, but I'm basically doing the same things. And then in the evening I have an English lesson with some Vietnamese students and just try to teach them English.
Currently joining in various projects, but working with the autistic children in the center is the most important to Christian.
The time I work here, yeah, it's challenging. I mean, first you have to play with the kids and just find stuff to do with the kids and get in contact with them and find a way to relate to them and do something with them, and also just seeing how they cope with their disabilities.
Being a social organization, Morning Star is not funded by the state, and that's why the leaders and teachers at the center have to depend on themselves. So volunteers are an important source of support to them.
Nói rằng là cái tình nguyện viên có chuyên nghiệp, tức là có chuyên môn ấy, các chuyên gia thì đã đóng góp cho trung tâm của chúng tôi rất lớn, tức là nâng cao cái năng lực hoạt động trung tâm cũng như là nâng cao cái kỹ năng dạy, kỹ năng làm việc với trẻ khuyết tật trí tuệ nói chung và trẻ tự kỷ nói riêng của chúng tôi. Trung tâm chúng tôi phải nói là rất hiệu quả. Chúng tôi luôn luôn mở cửa để chào đón tất cả những ai, kể cả tình nguyện viên Việt Nam lẫn tình nguyện viên nước ngoài đến đây để chia sẻ với lại trung tâm nhằm nâng cao cái chất lượng chăm sóc các cháu ở đây.